So the Green Bay Packers have wasted no time interviewing or requesting to interview even more defensive coordinator candidates. We saw earlier this morning that they have indeed interviewed former Chargers head coach Brandon Staley, which I know a lot of people do not like. But now we just got more news that there's 3 other candidates that they have either interviewed, planned to interview, or have requested to interview for. First, we'll go with the one that they have interviewed. The Packers have interviewed rising Broncos defensive backs coach Christian Parker for their vacant defensive coordinator job. Source said, just 32 years old, Parker has impressed. Then we have Packers requested permission to interview Bills linebacker coach Bobby Babich for their defensive coordinator job. Source says, Babich, who recently interviewed with the Giants for the same role, will meet with Green Bay. Then finally, Green Bay, the Los Angeles Rams, and Atlanta have sought permission to speak to Cowboys defensive line coach Aiden Dillard per multiple sources. He was with the team since 2021, having spent 5 years with Dan Quinn in Atlanta, and he's also worked with new coach Raheem Morris. So a very important thing to note with the 4 candidates that were released today that the Packers have interviewed or plan to interview, they're all on the younger side. Joe Barry, 53 years old, could be considered an older coach in the NFL. Obviously, there's much older coaches, but all the coaching candidates today are as follows. Brandon Staley, 41 years old. Christian Parker, 32 years old. Bobby Babich, 40 years old. Aiden Dillard, 44 years old. So it really seems like Matt LaFleur is trying to bring in a younger eye for this defense, which I'm all for. New blood, a younger coach. It worked with Matt LaFleur coming our head coach, and what that's done for our offense under Jordan Love, having a young coach, a young offensive mind in there. So why not do the same on defense, bringing a young defensive mind that could mesh well with Matt LaFleur. Going over their resumes really quickly, Christian Parker, the current defensive backs coach from the Denver Broncos. He was a defensive back coach at Virginia State from 2013 to 2014, defensive back coach at Norfolk State from 15 to 16, a defensive analyst on Notre Dame in 2017, a defensive analyst Texas A&M in 2018. Then he was actually with the Green Bay Packers as a defensive quality control coach from 2019 to 2020. So he has familiarity with the Green Bay Packers, with Matt LaFleur. So that's likely why he is a candidate. And then most recently, since 2021 to now, defensive backs coach for the Denver Broncos. And as it was stated, he has impressed. So I think this is a very solid candidate considering he has rapport with Matt LaFleur. He's a 32 young defensive minded type of coach, has a ton of experience, not only at the NFL level, but at the college level. Then we have Bobby Babich, the current linebacker coach of the Buffalo Bills. He's getting a lot of recognition lately. He was the secondary coach at Eastern Illinois from 2007 to 2010. Carolina Panthers administrative assistant for the coaching staff in 2011. He was then the defensive assistant, upgraded to defensive assistant in 2012 for the Panthers. Then for 2013 and 2014 for the Browns, he was an assistant defensive backs coach, then upgraded to assistant secondary / safeties in 2015. Then he was a secondary coach and defensive pass game coordinator at FIU in 2016. Then he came back into the NFL in 2017 as the assistant defensive backs coach for the Buffalo Bills, then the safeties coach in 2018 to 2021, and then the linebackers coach from 2022 and present. So he has a ton of experience all around the defense at the NFL level, at the college level. So it's not just, he's been a linebacker coach his whole life. He's 40 years old. He's still young, but he's had a ton of experience since 2007 when he started coaching. So although he's young, he does have a lot of experience as a secondary coach, a linebacker coach, an overall defensive coach, a defensive assistant. So he has a ton of experience. And like I said, he's a hot name right now. Then finally, Aiden Dillard, the current defensive line coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he doesn't have as much coaching experience. He started coaching in 2018 for the Atlanta Falcons as the defensive quality control coach. That was until 2019. Then in 2020, he became the outside linebackers coach for the Atlanta Falcons. Then since then, in 2021 to now, he's been the defensive line coach for the Dallas Cowboys. All 3 of these guys are definitely solid candidates. I would say Babich and Parker have a better chance at becoming the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers than Dillard does. But I like that the Packers are kind of going out here already interviewing a bunch of guys, a bunch of young-minded defensive talent. It's going to be interesting to see who they bring into this building for sure. But that about does it for this video. I appreciate you guys coming by. Just wanted to update you yet again today on some more interviews for this defensive coordinator position. But I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.